everybody. It is approaching 9 o'clock, I believe. I know it's August 20th, and I know this for sure it's 2025. Okay, so bear with me. Hope you enjoy. This is something I was working on. Just want to just tie it up and sign it because we want to get started in some soft vine charcoal, which before we do that, we're just going to use regular carbon charcoal a little bit after this. Really what we just need to do is just do. You saw last week when we got a lot of views on it too. We did just a ballpoint pen drawing on watercolor paper, though. I mean, that's kind of expensive, but the ballpoint pen costs about 20 cents. Okay, so the point being that if you don't have money for supplies, that's no excuse for not doing your art if you want to do your art. If you don't want to do your art, don't do it. Do something else constructive. But whatever you do something to help yourself and others at the same time if possible. So we're going to sign this one as we have in our Leonardo da Vinci backwards style. And you know what? Very quickly, so let's go ahead and call that and put that in storage for a possible exhibition in my storage facility here in Brooklyn. And to the next piece very quickly. Because here it is, I have it in my hand. Thank goodness I was slightly almost prepared. Okay, so this is your regular carbon charcoal. It's general charcoal, it's called, soft. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so let's see if we got that in the viewfinder. You're going to set out a basic structure of the face. Boom, boom, boom. I want to do a nice kind of Middle East, I don't know. See, let me stop labeling it. I don't know how it's going to come out. But I know I've been wanting to do, a lot of times I'll be doing, or I will be doing, or sometimes I don't even want to speak goodly English. I don't want to speak English very goodly, sort of. I do and I don't, anyway. Okay, so you're going to set out the basic lines and structures of the eyes, of the nose. The nose, the less is better. You just want your nostrils. What you're doing is you might say, I quote Bob Ross, to an extent, this is your world, but I gotta say that also to an extent, this is the world of the viewer. If you don't care what people think, then you go to a different channel. I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube channels where, it's just total therapy. They don't care, just expression without any regards for technique, which, I have some regard for technique. I mean, it's not, I was talking to my instructor, Minerva Miss Durham, in Manhattan yesterday. And I tried to tell her about the retrospective that the Brooklyn Museum had on Kehinde Wiley in conjunction at the same time. The whole point was that the two opposite sides of the spectrum of style of Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat and Kehinde Wiley at the Brooklyn Museum. And she said, well, I'm more up on some of the older school artists. And I said, well, you could compare that. And then she said the word Rothko. And I said, well, okay. First I said, compare Warhol with Norman Rockwell. It's kind of similar. And then I realized, well, there's a lot of differences. So then she said Rothko. I said, okay, you can compare Rothko with, and then she said Sargent. So she was throwing out names. So it's true. You could compare Rothko with Sargent, and it might be a similar. I mean, what we're talking about is the difference between expressionism, realism, and then Kehinde Wiley is not just a realist. He's figurative, like Dali. He's kind of like Dali because he's kind of surreal. In fact, he is. And but in his own way. So it's like people don't like to be compared. And I'm sure that Wiley, I can't speak for Basquiat, who's no longer with us, but people don't like comparisons. They do and they don't. It depends on a lot of variables. In the space that I've been yakety-yakking, you see what I've done in a carbon charcoal. We're ready to just sign this for the sake of the viewers. If I'm on my own, I work on this for hours, make a painting, whatever. I don't have that luxury right now. My luxury is a YouTube channel, which I'm grateful for. Okay, so it's here's our finished piece. Simply because for the sake of just a short segment, which that's going to be broken up into shorts because I'll have a long version and short versions of this on August 20th, 2025, charcoal. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks.